Hey, ladies! I'm Coach Gene Clemens back with another one. I am here with a young writer, Miss Michelle Rabinovich.
Yep,
Rabinovich.
you got it.
I've been messing that name up all the time, but I didn't mess it up now because I'm a gamer. I know how to turn it on, and even if it looks crazy, we do it. But no, thank you for joining me. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. It's really sweet of you.
Oh, real sweet. I like to be sweet. Um, Writer.
Yeah.
You write for multiple publications. Tell the people who all of the things that you do in the writing space.
First and foremost, I'm plugging my college newspaper, the
Yeah,
Oxford
of course.
Chronicle. It's where I started writing regularly. I love it. I love the people I work with. I love the people I learned from. And I've done mostly sports, a little bit of news, a little bit of Annie, like album, not critiquing, yeah, I guess reviews, kind of stuff like that, but mostly sports, almost entirely. Just started an internship with AM New York where I get to cover the Yankees. I'm really, really excited about that because I wanted to cover baseball, like as my beat for 2 years now, and
Okay.
I'm getting close to that dream. Like, I'm breathing on that door, so I'm really, really, really excited about it.
All right. All right.
Yeah, but like when I got the call that I got it, I cried. Yeah,
Nothing wrong. Nothing wrong with a little tears. I
yeah.
mean, some people cry over beating coaches. Some people cry over getting opportunities. It's okay. Um, why do you? Why was it? Why did the baseball beat? Like, why was that something that you were really passionate about?
I don't know. Baseball is really the only sport like I really, really fall in love with. Like I love sports. I love watching. I love writing about them. But baseball is just a whole other level. What's the old movie that goes, "You can't not be romantic about it"?
Is that?
I'm
I
I'm,
don't know.
I'm
Is that?
blanking.
Is
I'm
that?
blanking.
It's not a league of their own. Is that Field of Dreams?
Sandlot? One of those.
Or it could be Bull Durham.
No, I don't think
Okay, it's a lot of really
so. Yeah.
um, cheesy old baseball movies that are have some machination of
Yeah.
loving the game and that type of thing. I don't know.
I don't know. I love the game. I love everything about it. Writing about it, just it's methodical, and I love the numbers behind it. I feel like I really nerd out about it. Like I could talk about baseball forever.
So do you do fantasy baseball?
I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
Loving baseball and loving the numbers, you would think that you would do fantasy baseball, like that would be a thing. But um, so what? So then, with football, like, is this just something that you kind of fell into because it was available? You were good at it.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not one of the more qualified people who knows football at my radio station
Uh
that
huh.
sent me here. Shout out WRHU 88.7 FM on the East Coast.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I'll be honest. I'm not one of the more qualified people, but I do know that to have good reporting, you need to go out. You need to have thorough notes. You need to talk to people. You need to be able to approach them. You need to be able to listen, follow. That's like hard reporting skills that not everyone's taught.
Gotcha.
And I'm still working on that day in and day out.
So you are qualified though then. So what you're saying is you might not be the person that knows the most about football,
100%.
but you know a lot about the business of journalism and how things are supposed to go.
I guess in theory, yeah.
Yeah, the structural, the techniques, those type of things. I think a lot of times what gets lost is that the love of depending upon what you're doing, right? How much you know about and or love the sport is kind of secondary. Like if you think about hard news, like
Mhm.
hard news doesn't care if you love it. Like it just wants the facts,
Yeah.
right? And it wants it told in a very specific way, all the time.
Yeah.
Like there's no deviation from that. So in essence, you not being the biggest football person probably gives you a level of objectivity that someone that loves this and this is like their coup de grace, probably doesn't have.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely on the money with that. I am a few degrees removed from all the hype. Like, yeah, I know who Andy Reid is. I know who the 49ers coach is also. And I could be in front row with them. I could be shoulder to shoulder with them, and I would still do my job,
Hmm.
the same as I am. I would talk with them the same as I'm talking with you because I'm just there for questions. I'm there to listen. there to
Yeah.
follow up, there to do my job.
But if I put Aaron Judge right next to you, though,
I would still be the same.
you think you would? You don't think you would be like because that's your like
No,
no.
because it's still work. Like I know I have a better understanding of who it is because it's the
Mm-hmm.
Yankees. Because my parents, mostly my dad and his closest friends, love the Yankees and like all that stuff. So it's like a little closer to home, a little closer to the heart, but I'd still be doing my job. I would
Still be
still,
fine with
yeah. Garrett Cole, on the other hand,
Garrett Cole might be a little bit more difficult.
yeah, soft spot for
Definitely Joe
pitchers.
Burrow would be a.
Stop.
I'm just I'm just I'm just saying, like if Joe Burrow was, then it maybe it'd be a different story.
Off the record.
There's no off the records. I think the part of the job, right, that doesn't see color, um it doesn't see sex, is when you have a passion for what you're doing, right? The passion just, if you look around, there's not a lot of people, here right now. It's not like it's 10 o'clock at night or 11 o'clock at night. It's seven, something when we're recording that, just so you know. Um, but the passion always, kind of bleeds through. As a woman in this field, a heavily dominated male field. Um, have you even, in the infancy of your career, noticed the passion levels being different for you than maybe some of your counterparts? Like, do you feel like you're just more passionate about what you do than someone else?
I'm not sure. I don't know if I can quantify passion from my male counterparts to the female ones in this field, but I've seen it come across differently. For starters, most of my guy friends are a lot more loud, and they like kind of they're very verbal about it. And okay, to each their own.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel the need to be loud. Like if I have numbers to back up, my case that Garrett Cole is the best pitcher in the AL, which he was because of the Cy Young and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I have my numbers, and you can be loud about your numbers, but if you have numbers again, for a different pitcher, okay, that's great. I love your passion. Doesn't have to be so hurrah.
All right. Okay.
That's kind of my take on it. I put my passion into hard work.
Yeah, but
I'm
I feel
not as
like that's
outward
what I
about it.
mean.
I'm just not as outward about it. I think a lot of women are
What
like
about their
outward.
outward about their passion?
Yeah, like I think we're all dedicated. We to be succeed, we all have to be dedicated.
I disagree. I don't think there's the same level of dedication across the board, and I think that's what separates the people who continue in this business versus those that get in and think that they're gonna, like, tomorrow be Mina Kimes, you know what I'm saying, or tomorrow be whomever that top level A-list person is. I think the passion is what makes you work hard, right? And a lot of people, I think, and it's just my opinion, I think a lot of people in this business, they get into it because they think that they're at a level that they just don't understand. I think this is why athletes have had um such success crossing over into media, is because the same level of work ethic that you have as an athlete, you bring that over into this, and you realize that, oh, these people who've been here, they don't work at that level. They don't work at that rate. They don't have that same drive, that same, I can work through adversity, I can deal with whatever. Um, and so from that, I think we end up in a situation where you see the haves and the have-nots, and normally the have-nots are the people who are like, "Yo, what time are we done with this?" Or looking at their watch all the time. The haves are the people who don't care about that watch. They're just going.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I feel. I care about the time if I'm on a date
Yeah,
and I want to get out.
yeah, of course.
Not like I've been on one in a while. But for me, it's never been a case of what time are we getting out of here? Because my answer is always going to be we're getting out of here when the job's
When
done.
the job's done.
And the job's never done.
Yeah, and I think another thing about the media space, especially as everything has become multimedia, the people who have a newspaper background tend to thrive more because the newspaper background used to have a strict, hard deadline, and it involved long nights, but it involved working at a pace that you knew you had to hit that clip, or else it wasn't gonna happen for you. And so I think that a lot of times some of that comes into play as well. What do you think is the next level for you? Like where you are right now, you're writing for multiple publications. Still throwing a shout out to the school newspaper, obviously. Um, what do you think your next level is? If you said, okay, I have steps in my progression, what does that next step look like for you? Because a beat writer job is that's difficult to come up.
That's a dream for
Yeah.
sure. I want to do that at least once in my life. After that, maybe an editor at a paper because I like helping people grow. The old saying, if you can, do. If you can't, teach.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd hope that when I'm older and I'm not as sharp, I'm not as able to spend long nights, and I get tired. Maybe I want to spend more time with my family
Mm-hmm.
one day if I have one, God willing. I'd want to be able to help the next generation of writers, the next generation that are going to be faster, better, more equipped, more knowledgeable, have even better technology than the ones we have now. So I'd want to be able to help them um, in any way I can. And if, while I imagine that to be decades away as an editor, or maybe not, I don't know. I don't know what's in store for me.
Yeah.
I've thought about doing TV sideline. Like I've done radio sideline plenty for school, and I really really love it. It's really fun because it's just like another side of it's like another angle, another type of reporting. It's still getting to know someone, getting to hear and listen to them. Like really, it's sometimes superficial, sometimes not. I think it's really fun, and so maybe I'll do it on TV.
Maybe.
It
Maybe I'll do one of the most coveted jobs in all of sports.
is in the very very off chance I have the opportunity.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. I've never wanted to really do sideline. That wasn't, but I did have a something I wanted to do. I started doing this past year, which was color commentary.
So
So
difficult. I don't know how you do it. For what
yeah,
sport?
not play by play, but color was football.
Okay.
Yeah, I did MEAC games this
Nice.
year. Yeah, so
Nice.
it was good. It was fun. It was fast paced. I had kind of already you know been prepping myself by doing a lot of stuff. Broadcasting a lot of stuff on my own. So when the opportunity came, it was ready. Do you find yourself like working on things that is just for you so that when you get the opportunity you're already ready to go, or are you just more like well, when I get that opportunity, then I'll go that route.
I don't know. I'd like to say the former, and because like you said, everything is so multimedia, multifaceted that
Hmm.
I'm gonna be ready to jump at something in the event that something opens up.
Hmm.
I don't want there to be a you know in the because I know that in the event something happens and I'm kind of wishing everything into existence. I
Yeah.
want to be as equipped as possible.
Yeah. So do you ever grab a camera and go and work on your sideline
Oh yeah.
reporting with and then go and look at it and go, oh my gosh,
Yep.
delete, delete, delete.
Yeah.
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 I used to do that. I would turn on a TV
Yeah.
and like take the sound off and then just do my own color commentary to the stuff.
Yeah.
And I would listen back to it and go, oh my gosh, it's so bad. You're so bad at this. Like you're so awful.
No,
And
I
then I
felt
beat
that.
myself up for a couple hours until I go, okay, all right, we're good.
Uh,
You're good.
oh my god, I actually did some radio sideline last week. I'm blanking on. Yeah, it was last Saturday. This past Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah, the day before we flew in. And I listened back to it. No, no, before I even listened back to it. I felt and I was realizing the mistakes I was making as I was doing, my in-game hits and then
Mm-hmm.
my halftime and post-game interviews. And so it was a total of 6, moments where I spoke on air.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I went 1 for 6 of good stuff. Like I had good content, I had good storylines, all that stuff, but my
Delivery was bad.
trash.
It's always the
It was
delivery. Yeah.
I'm a writer. I like my backspace. I don't like ad libbing.
Yeah.
I had to ad lib a little bit. Recipe for disaster for me. Absolutely.
I would never guess that ad libbing would be I'm just saying. So
I'm serious. I can't.
Well, I
Delivery was nobody needs to hear this tape.
I would imagine that's one of the things that when you're working, that's what you continue to work on, right? Like
You
being
know,
able to kind of adjust on the fly. Because I know that, and shout out to Kayla Sweezy, um, who worked the sidelines for us in our games. Like there would be times where they thought it was going to be this and then it was that, and we were like, "Hey, can you go and get like on a timeout?" She would go and put something together real quick and boom, hit it. Like there's going to be times where that type of stuff comes up. I also wonder why we don't see more, like why it feels like the sideline reporter gig is becoming more just a female oriented job, whereas because I think that like I would like to hear different voices. I've long said that I thought Doris Burke was like the gold standard of like broadcasting, sports broadcasting when it came to that type of stuff. But she was on the sidelines forever, and I'm like, she really should be a part of like some team. And lo and behold, now ESPN makes some cuts and moves some things around, and she's doing a fantastic job on that. And I always wondered like why things kind of just get pigeonholed. Like who was the person that said, "Oh, we're just going to promote all the women on the sidelines," and it's like, hey, just you know, take these pieces and shuffle them around and give us some different perspectives. You know, I think I remember when Mina Kimes was doing the Seahawks. I think it was preseason games.
Mm.
She was in the booth for the Seahawks preseason games, and people were like, "Oh, she's bad at this," and blah blah blah. And I was like, "She just started. She's getting her feet wet. Like who amongst any of these people have ever had to get their feet wet at an NFL game? You know, like at the top. You know, and so she's going, but the unique perspective that she brought was different. Years ago, they experimented with comedians in the booth, and that had mixed reviews and
I was gonna
stuff.
say,
And it's like,
I can't imagine that going well.
but a different perspective, and so it was like you got it from somebody who looked at the game differently, and I think that that's like for me, that's what I really like. I really like to be able to hear how different personalities narrate the game. You know,
Yeah, I see that. I think that's certainly like individual preference, and I really agree that I like hearing different people and how they see things. I also think that sometimes there's merit into having that one voice that does that one sport. Like we know Iron Eagle does so and so. We all know that. Oh my god, I'm blanking.
you
Oh my
mean
god,
like
all
like
of New
Jim
York.
Nance at the Masters,
I
like
mean, I don't watch golf, but
yes.
yeah.
Or what's her
I'm
name?
blanking
What's her
a
name
lot.
in the booth with for the Yankees? Oh my goodness.
Susan
Yeah, Susan Walden.
Walden.
Susan
Yeah, with
Sue Walden. We're so sorry we didn't remember your name
I know. I'm
immediately. You're a
sorry, and
legend.
I'm a fan of all
You're a
things.
legend.
You are.
I'm a Yankees fan, so it's like you're a legend. We apologize, but yeah, Susan Walden. It becomes like an institution. You hear the name. I mean, you hear the
Yeah,
voice all the time.
yeah. Like I could recognize. Oh yeah, like we all recognize our iconic people: Michael Kay, Starling, Waldman.
Hmm.
Rest in peace. Oh my God, the Dodgers play-by-play. Oh my God.
Oh
He
gosh.
passed.
Yeah. Now you're gonna make me feel bad because
Mm-hmm.
people. We'll figure it out. We're
Yeah.
just.
If I had my phone on me, I googled it. Oh my God. My
Yeah.
best friend is clowning me. I can feel it. Mhm.
I'm sure. But yeah, those
Yeah.
those names, and it'll pop into
It
my head at
yeah.
some point.
We'll
But
get off the recording and we'll remember.
we'll after it's done, it'll all of a sudden pop in and go, oh, there we go. So what do you think? Like for you, what's the next? Or not the next, but what's the path look like for you? Because I know you said you wanted to you know, beat reporter, and then when you get old and are not sharp anymore, old people. She said it.
No,
I did not.
I didn't mean it like
Older
that.
people.
I didn't mean it like that.
She
Stop.
said it. I didn't say it.
Stop. I didn't mean it
Um,
like that.
you wanted to possibly do editing and things of that nature. Have you ever thought about like maybe doing your own thing, kind of branching out on your own type of deal, or are you
With
just
the
more like a?
shoestring budgets we have, right?
Well, I'm just saying, with the shoestring budget that you get now, if you had that shoestring budget all to yourself,
Mm, I don't know. I can't say I'm much of an optimist. I certainly don't have a lot of entrepreneurial spirit. I just have a reporting spirit.
yeah.
I don't know. Writing, editing, it's my favorite stuff, sorry. All that stuff. I picked up a camera lens for the first time, like on a regular basis on this trip here.
Hmm.
And so there's anything I'd also want to try out. It's photojournalism, photography. I've always loved and respected my photo colleagues, but
Yeah.
now that I had a few days in their shoes, I was like, okay, I want more.
So that might be something. Be your
Yes.
own one woman band. You write the story, you take the pictures, you
Edit my own story
edit
too.
your own story. Do a little piece of video content to go along with it for the website.
Yes. It'll split me apart, but yeah, in theory. I don't know. In practice, yeah.
In practice, it sounds good, but in theory, it's like that's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe just for a feature. But I really do believe, like, I don't believe, I know. Um, you have to be able to do everything now,
Yeah.
right? Like
Hundred percent.
that's the way, and it's because these shoestring budgets mean that people don't make a lot of money. But if you're the person that can do everything, you become valuable enough that someone says, "We're going to pay you because you bring something to the table."
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know what's next for the business. Like I often wonder what's the next thing that we haven't seen it yet, or we don't know it yet, or we may have seen it, but it's still in its infancy. But it's going to be the wave. Um, if you had to guess, what would be that next wave? What would you think it would be?
A few things. More like major networks merging. I mean, what was it yesterday?
Hmm.
That the deal with NFL, and I'm blanking on whoever else is part of it. So I'm gonna see. I think more mergers on that front. I think potentially papers merging or collapsing.
You
Remember,
mean
like,
more than they've already collapsed?
yeah, you know how? Remember how in the '08 housing crisis, a bunch of banks on Wall Street to avoid complete financial ruin, a bunch of them like merged so they can have
Hmm.
some kind of funds together. I'm thinking about that. So it's either bust or combined together. Um,
Yeah.
it was that's a really specific example. But like, trust me on this, because we were talking about it in class recently. Yeah, I'm still in class. I'm 20. I hate it. Um, when we think newspapers like print papers are going to phase out, and my money's on by 2030, so we're almost there.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to happen because it's it's going to bust financially, or they're all going to combine together, or at least a lot.
Yeah.
Either that, or whenever the New York Times starts printing on its daily. That's like the benchmark.
Yeah. It's interesting because in a way there is already a lot of mergers because the bigger newspapers are owned by companies that own the smaller newspapers. They really work as subsidiaries for the bigger papers, and you know, this paper goes away, but they didn't really go away. They just kind of got absorbed by this other paper, and now they just go by one name. Um, I think it was the Tampa Tribune and the St. Pete Times. Like the St. Pete
Yeah,
Times
I think I about that.
just disappeared, like it just went away. And they all kind of got folded in, and then you know, it's interesting though. I think to be able to figure out what that next wave is and be like right on the tip of it, that you could ride it in. That's a lot of people like yourself, young journalists. They need to be figuring out what that wave is, and preparing themselves to be able to catch it. If not, they're going to get drowned, or they're going to end up selling insurance. Like that's what happens. Hey, I'm a pharmaceutical rep now. Like, you go to journalism school. Yeah, because you gotta, sometimes you just gotta pay the bills. But I think beyond that, just it's an excitement. It's an excitement there. Like, what's next? What's coming? What can I do? What can I be in that space?
Yeah.
I know that's what excites me. I'm pretty sure that's what excites anyone that has a passion for this. So,
Yeah. Oh my god. I told my mom the other day. I was like, oh my god. I'm like, I was in the middle of writing a story. I don't remember on what. You draw something. And I was like, oh my god. I think I have a fire under my ass. Like I have no other way to put it. I'm just like, keep moving. I don't care how exhausted I am. I don't care how much sleep I'm on or I haven't been on. I don't care if I had water or food that day. I'm in it. I'm in the thick of something, and I'm just going.
you want to
I
go.
want to finish it. I want to see it to its completion. I want to write it out, get it ripped to shreds, rewrite it, keep going through. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
just yeah.
No, that's the. I mean, that's the fun part, right? That's the part of the game.
Yeah.
And until you get something that you're like, you know that it's good because other people go out their way and go, hey, by the way, that piece you wrote the other day, which journalists don't, they just don't, they're just not out here giving out like compliments all the time. So when they reach out and say, hey, I saw what you did, you're like, yeah, I did
Yeah.
that. All right, now I'm on to the next one. You
Yeah.
know, it's like, yes, that's
No,
really
on to
what
the
it is.
next one.
All right, now I'm on to the next one because now you wanna get that dopamine hit again. You wanna figure it out. I again want to thank you for joining me. Tell everybody where they can follow you at. Where they can see your work.
Not a problem. First of all, my LinkedIn, that one.
Yeah,
I was looking at it. The
it's
whole,
okay. It's
I'm a,
all right. I got you.
I'm a clown. My LinkedIn, Michelle Rabinovich, MICHELLERABINOVICH. My Twitter is mrabinovich03. I tweet out all of my articles there. Um, that's really it. My link tree is linked in there, but my Twitter is where I put out all my news, my articles, all that stuff. Um, and I'm also an Avatar fan, so is that
Are
that's some,
you excited about the new live action?
yes, it looks so good.
See, all right. I'm gonna say it. I was not one of the people who thought that the M Night Shyamalan Last Airbender was so awful. Like people were like, "It's so awful. It's so bad."
Yeah, it's trash.
And my whole thing was, it can be whatever it is. I just wanted to see it through completion.
I did
So
it.
I wanted to see the second and the third installments because I wanted to see Aang go through the levels, and go through the different.
I get that,
That's all.
but
I
it was
just wanted
done
to see.
so
It was so
poorly.
bad.
It was bad.
It was
didn't
so
follow.
bad, but
It didn't follow the OG storyline.
But it could have been better. Like the second one, they could have corrected some things. They could have went on. I'm excited about the new one. I'll say that. I'm really excited about the new one. But I was like, I feel like I was robbed from at least getting to see some stuff for years. And now we're back. Now we're back. So
we're so back, boys.
we're back.
We're so
good.
back.
We're good. We're good. Again, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Another episode. Hey, ladies, I got it right here. I'm Coach Gene Clemens. Till next time. Peace.